We're watching the Tekken Battle Pass. It's gross. By Boogard. We just watched the video by Boogard. BoogardMG.
Gonna sugarcoat it, the Tekken 8 Battle Pass is gross. Ever since the Tekken shop was announced last month, there was a fair bit of discourse surrounding the idea that Bandai Namco potentially left out customization content in order to sell it back to us later. While I'm personally not a huge fan of microtransactions in full-price games, I was willing to let that one slide. But a few days ago, Tekken announced the Tekken Fight Pass, and this is where I draw the line. This new feature is, at best, a scummy, somewhat tone-deaf, capitalist move, and at worst is, in my opinion at least, a purely predatory monetization practice. So let's get into this. As gaming has moved more towards the free-to-play online model more and more over the past decade, the Battle Pass, popularized by Fortnite, has become a commonplace in these games. And it's a pretty genius monetization model.
It is.
At least from their standpoint.
You get free stuff.
You get players to spend money.
We're paying money.
While also getting them to play more, as you need to complete daily missions to keep unlocking more and more things.
Truth.
If you don't play enough, you won't unlock everything in the Battle Pass.
Absolutely.
And thus, you feel like you won't get your money's worth. The limited nature of these Battle Passes have also certainly contributed to their success. You'll notice these Battle Passes very purposely almost always have a timer above it. It's the whole, better buy this quick and play the game as much as possible, or time will run out and this will never be available again. It's artificial scarcity in its purest form. Now, plenty of people have had debates over the years on this form of monetization and the whole ethics of it and all that fun stuff. But there is one thing you could always come back to. Hey, at least this game is free.
For real.
It's only cosmetic items.
Right.
That first part is no longer the case anymore.
No.
Games have been getting expansions and
now
DLC that actually add substantial content for a while now. But actual microtransactions with in-game currency in full-price games is still a relatively new thing. Developers like EA have slowly dipped their toe in and worked to slowly but surely normalize these practices. And now, with Tekken 8, it almost seems like this practice is being normalized. Let me be clear here. None of this is okay.
Nope.
Tekken isn't Fortnite. This isn't a free game. And this isn't even a cheap indie game. This is a full-price AAA game. $70. That is essentially now offering V-Bucks and a Battle Pass. Do you think it's a coincidence that they launched this game without any of this stuff, so reviews would almost entirely stay positive? Do you really think it's a coincidence that they waited a month after releasing the Tekken shop before doubling down and releasing a Battle Pass? This is just my opinion, of course, but if you
I'm with them.
Of course it's not. They're slowly trying to dip their feet in, and after the backlash around the Tekken shop slowed down, they introduced this Battle Pass. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Oh yeah.
I fully believe that when you pay $70 for a game, it's ridiculous to have a currency system that costs real money. This isn't League of Legends or Fortnite. Through the massive amount of discourse that this Battle Pass has created, I've seen a disappointingly high number of people arguing in favor of this terrible move, claiming, hey, it's no harm being in the game.
If you don't like it, you don't buy it.
But I think these people are completely missing the point. Do you think the Battle Pass model isn't made to prey on people with the whole fear of missing out thing? A lot of people forget one of the main demographics of buying skins in games is children. There have been actual studies showing that in-game purchases like this actually serve to pressure children to spend their parents' money on skins and Battle Passes as to not be bullied by their peers. This stuff happens to kids.
To be popular,
you might not
to
believe
be
it,
new.
but it does. These methods of microtransactions are studied by these massive companies to extract as much money as possible, using all kinds of crazy techniques. So again, I don't think the just don't buy it thing can possibly apply here. The Battle Pass is a very well-known tactic to prey on children.
That was crazy.
But even putting children aside, this is a $7
largest
game.
combos are insane.
I'll say it again, this isn't Fortnite. We paid full price for a game that has a very limited amount of customization.
Yeah, just don't buy it if you don't like it.
7. Just
Get so sick of hearing that, bro.
Money in the shop and in the Battle Pass, but it's okay because we at least have modding, right? Right?
No.
Well, great. Namco is now striking down community-based channels on YouTube for showing off mods.
Yep,
great.
can't do it.
Definitely
not anymore.
By the way. So many people just can't understand why we don't want this shit in our full-priced fighting game. It honestly kind of baffles my mind. If this was a free game, it would be a different story, but no, it's not. This is a full-price AAA game.
He's absolutely right, man.
People respond with the simple rebuttal that they want this game to last. How are they going to fund it without microtransactions? They need money to make this stuff. I'm sorry. I mean this in the most polite way possible, but what? This isn't a free game that desperately needs to add in-game purchases to make a profit. The developers make money when you purchase the game. This is where their funding should come from. Oh, and if that's not enough for them, we also have the $40 expansion pass.
Yeah.
$40 for 4 characters and a couple avatar skins. I'll save the full discussion of DLC characters for another day.
But it's still
do you
part.
realize that
It
the
still
base game was
contributes.
$70 for 32 characters, and yet they're charging $40 for
That's
4
crazy.
characters? Essentially $10 per character? Sure, you'll be able to buy them separately for cheaper, but again, if you get the bundle, you get the characters 3 days early, again, preying on people with a fear of missing out. Is that not enough to fund the game? I don't care how expensive it is to make DLC characters. They're certainly making a huge profit off of this. People are seriously arguing that poor little Bandai Namco needs to add
Poor little
vehicles in order to
Bandai
turn a profit.
Namco.
What, so it can pay its workers as if it's an indie company ran out of someone's garage? This is a billion-dollar company who, again, knows exactly what they're doing with this whole thing. It's easy for you to just say, you know what, I have discipline and I'm not going to buy this.
Correct.
Speaking with your wallet just isn't enough in this case. Thousands of people are probably going to cave because they want the characters early and can't wait 3 days. Just like thousands will cave in the battle pass because they don't want to miss the limited edition cosmetics. If you don't get it soon, you'll never be able to. It's not enough just to say don't buy it. Some people are going to buy it, and these monetization practices are designed to take advantage of these people.
Man, this guy, he's speaking the truth right now.
So these predatory monetization tactics shouldn't be criticized is absolutely ridiculous. And this sets a precedent for other full-price fighting games in the future. Every time a game decides to do something like this, it gets easier and easier for the next game. I don't want to live in a world where every fighting game is full price and is just expected to have battle pass and in-game currency.
Well, that's the thing, is it opens the door for everybody else.
Loot boxes? This might sound far-fetched to you, but honestly, I would not be surprised at all if in the next 2 seasons we get loot boxes. And then we'll see people arguing to defend it. Oh no, they aren't preying on people with gambling addictions. They just need the loot boxes to turn a profit. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Do you see why I find this argument to be pretty ridiculous?
Well, it's ridiculous when you buy it, and then it comes out.
A bunch of people are just so quick to support this stuff without even listening to all the inherent problems with it. Again, if this doesn't affect you and you know you'll never
Loot boxes was a better system than Battle Pass. I disagree with that.
That's the problem. Namco is trying to take advantage of its audience. We need to be critical of stuff like this and communicate.
Because inevitably it would make people spend more money to try and get the thing they specifically wanted.
It's pretty insane how
whereas on a Battle Pass, you could just get the thing you wanted.
We need to hold these companies accountable. I've honestly been thinking of ways to justify Namco's decision, and I just can't come up with anything. I don't buy the funding issue for even a second. And look, I know it sounds like I'm just overly shitting on the game, but again,
no, he's not.
I really do love Tekken 8. I think this is one of the best fighting games ever made.
Well, he's passionate about it, man.
To see the developers making decisions like this. I find it really important to remind people that just because we love a game doesn't mean we can't call it out. It seems like tons of people just think because they love the game, they can't listen to anyone who has any issues with the game. Just because you like a game doesn't mean you have to go to war, just defend it at every instance.
Exactly.
And when someone criticizes a game you like, it doesn't mean you should take it personally. Again, this is a billion-dollar business we're talking about. None of this sounds even remotely reasonable.
I'm with this guy.
Of course, like I said earlier, I want better discourse, and I fully welcome it. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you disagree and why. I'll be down there chatting with you guys as always. Anyway, that's about all I've got today.
No, my dude, he said it all.
Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It's a huge help, as only about 9% of my viewers are actually subscribed.
Subscribe to him.
A long way.
Do it.
Thank you guys so much.
What's wrong with you guys?
Have a good day.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. My graph looks identical, which is so dumb. But but it's fine. No, subscribe to BoogardMG. He makes awesome videos. I'm gonna go ahead and give his video a like. He said it all, man. I don't need to say anything. He literally laid it all out on the table. We need to hold these video game companies responsible for these predatory practices. I'm sorry.